You have a long list of things in your mind that you want to accomplish, but why can't you get any of it done? Why is it that you start something, but then you never follow through with it? Why do you always need someone to guide you and hold your hand through a process instead of putting in the work to do it yourself? I believe that it's because we have poor time management skills. In this episode of Candid Conversations, hosted by yours truly, Tech Coach Ralph, we are going to talk about a little bit. We're going to talk a little bit about time management and how your poor time management skills keep you from accomplishing your goals and keeps you from, getting to where you want to be. I believe that we should ferociously manage our time. And what does that mean to ferociously manage your time? So that means that you don't get distracted, you don't let other people control what you are planning to do, what you say that you're going to do, the plans that you make, the goals that you have. A lot of times we just make decisions at a whim, right? So we say, okay, we're going to sit down, we're going to study, but then someone says, hey, you want to go to the movies, or hey, you want to go to this restaurant? And you're like, okay, cool, I can always do this later. And then guess what? You never do it. And now you fall back and back and back. And something that could have taken you 3 months to do ends up taking you 3 years, maybe, right? Um, there's so many tools that are made available to us that we take for granted. I believe one of the most important tools that is free, right? It's free, is a calendar, right? And by free, I mean like just about everyone has a Google account, and I know that Yahoo has it, and Outlook has it, where you can get a free email account, and with that free email account comes a calendar, right? And we can use our calendar to organize our life, and we can live by our calendar. When we live by our calendar as close as possible, because things come up, things change. But as like when we make a committed effort to live by our calendar, then we can't make decisions at a whim, and we can't just float around through life. Just anything that comes up, it's like, okay, yeah, cool. Oh, okay, yeah, cool. I think that is the biggest mistake that we make and why we can't accomplish anything. We don't take notes, we don't have a planner, but I think, like, cuz the more the more the more organized you get, the more work it starts to take. But I think starting off with a calendar, right, is so simple to do, and it's so effective, right? Because I've seen so many times where people just pop up and they say, "Oh, let's go and do this." And because we don't have anything dedicated in our calendar, when we should be studying or cleaning up or whatever the case may be, we just go out and we go have some fun, and then we have to suffer and pay for it later. I always believe in doing the work now and enjoying the fun later. If you don't do the work, then maybe you don't deserve to have any fun. You know, a lot of times all we're focused on is having fun, and that's why we continue to lose and stay in the same exact position that we were in yesterday, last week, last month, last year, the last 10 years, right? No progress, no growth. So, your calendar, very, very important. I And here's the thing, right? I've spoken to so many people about, hey, why don't I help you set up your calendar, right? And they just get started. And then the only thing that they might have on their calendar is invitations that other people send them, but they don't effectively manage their own time, right? That It's your time. You don't get it back. You don't get it back. Your calendar should have, including the time that you sleep. I'm going to sleep from this time to this time, right? I'm going to wake up and I'm going to do this, and then I'm going to do that, and everything is carefully mapped out. And that way, which is probably the main reason that people do not set up their calendar is it holds you accountable. You see, a lot of us want freedom, right? We don't want anyone telling us what to do, right? But it's to the point of you don't even want yourself telling you what to do. You don't want no controls, no guidelines. You just wanna float through life. But then you wonder why you are where you are. That doesn't sound like freedom to me. It doesn't. It doesn't sound like success. And then I've seen people where when they start using their calendar, they get so much done. They get so much done, but then they gravitate away from it. Why do they gravitate away from it? I believe that it's it might be a little bit surprising and overwhelming about the amount of stuff that they can actually get done when they organize their life. Because setting up your calendar isn't that hard because the things that we do from a day to day basis, week to week basis, they don't change that much. They really don't. Like on my calendar, most of the things are reoccurring. And then there's open spots where I leave those open for appointments and things like that. And then if I need to change something or modify something, then I go ahead and I do that. I have like reoccurring meetings scheduled. I have live stream scheduled. I have times that I work on thumbnail schedules, and sometimes I don't get to each of those things on the calendar because things come up. But having it scheduled and knowing what I should be doing at the time does keep me accountable to myself. And then from there, I can go and make adjustments. And but having that starting point, that is very helpful to me to know. Okay, it's almost putting it on cruise control. I don't have to plan on a daily basis or on a weekly basis. I just know that, right, these are the things I need to do, and outside of that, then I can go out and do other things. Sometimes, like if I need a little bit more sleep, and I say, okay, if I am ahead on something that's on my calendar, then I can take this day and sleep in just a little bit more, right? But the calendar is what allows me to know that I can do it. Without it, I'd just be winging it. Without it, I would just be winging it. And that's why I believe most people fail in what they set out to do because they wing it, whatever it is, not having an organized calendar at work of when you're going to do certain things, certain tasks, all of that. You just wing it and then you end up falling behind and now you end up getting put on a PIP. If you don't know what a PIP is, that stands for personal improvement plan, right? One of the last things you want to get on at work. But lack of organization, you know, that's what leads to this. I say that your calendar should be your best friend. Instead of you making it your worst enemy, being scared of your calendar, you should make it your best friend. Because here's one of the things that I love about my calendar, right? It prevents me from getting distracted and from doing things that I really don't want to do, right? If something comes up that I'm like, okay, with the way that I value my time and the way that I think most people should value their time if they want it to be effective and make the most out of it, right? When something comes up, I say, all right, what is on my calendar now? And am I able to adjust it? And the thing that I am trying to change it for, will it be more beneficial than what's currently on my calendar? More than likely, it's not. So I'm going to stick to my calendar. But If I work it out early enough, in advance, then I might be willing to make adjustments to my calendar to move things around for whatever the case may be. But it has to be important enough, right? But because I have that time set, that time block, I can easily look in advance and say, all right, you want this date? What is it that I have planned, and should I be moving it around? You know, but not having that, you're just gonna accept anything that comes your way. And unfortunately, that is what's holding you back from being great. Is it that we're scared to be great? Are we scared to attack? What seems to be the problem? I think there is so much opportunity and potential that we we hold ourselves back from because we don't we don't ferociously manage our time. And like even with me, if I was even stricter on my calendar, I would get so much more done. Why am I able to put out so much content, still work a full-time job, still practice jujitsu, still do all the things that I do, right? Meet with people, coach people, everything, right? I make the most of the 24 hours in my day. Simple as that. And then I prioritize if something comes up. If it's more important than something that's currently in the calendar, then that gets a priority and I have to adjust the calendar and everything like that. When I was having the internet issues with the Sunday streams, it really upset me because I had that time allocated in my calendar and I was not able to do what I wanted to do, but you have to adjust, you have to pivot. But when I am committed to working on something in my calendar and I can't get to it, then that really bothers me because that time is allocated. And here's the thing, right? One more thing about your time and your calendar. After you start to respect your own time, you start to honor your own time, you start to put value on your own time, right? And like I said, I believe the best way to do that is through your calendar. After you start to do that, right? Do not let anyone else violate your calendar, disrespect your time. That is like, if you don't take anything else out of that, respect your time and don't let anyone else disrespect your time. Time is something that you don't get back. You have 24 hours in a day. Allocate it wisely. Anything you decide to do should be planned. Because when you live life on a whim, you're going to get the results of living life on a whim. When you look at every person who's successful, right? They dedicate they dedicate time and like to achieving their goals. I always go back to Kobe Bryant, right? Being in the gym, 2 o'clock in the morning when his trainer showed up, Tim Grover, and he's already sweating. He was there for so long. I heard another story about Kobe Bryant, right? He was going to be playing an opposing team, and one of the players from the opposing team showed up to the gym, and Kobe stayed an extra 2 hours or whatever, however long it was until that player's workout was over, just to get into his set, right? Ferocious time management. Dedicate yourself to what you want to do, and I believe that your calendar will show you what's important to you. Your calendar will show you what's important to you. If you're interested in learning web development, right? How much time do you have allocated on your calendar for web development? And if you work a full-time job, that's no excuse. That's no excuse at all. There's before work, there's after work. You might have to sacrifice sleep. Whatever the case may be, you need to put in the work. And to help you put in the work, you have a free resource. Use your Google Calendar. And when something comes up, check your calendar, see if you can make it or not. All right. But like I said, I am not going to belabor on this point. I'm not going to beat a dead horse. You already know this, right? But I think we purposely avoid it. We don't want accountability, and that is why we're not going to get anywhere. You might hate that I'm saying this, but you know you need it. Allocate your time wisely. Stop just hanging around. Go out there and do something. Stop talking about it. Start being about it. All right? So, thank you for tuning in to this episode of Candid Conversations. And if you liked what I was talking about, let me know in the comments. If you hated it, also let me know in the comments. Give the video a thumbs up or a thumbs down. I don't really care, right? I just want to know what you thought about the video. And if you want to hear more content that you like or don't like, hit the subscribe button and hit the notification bell, and we can continue this conversation. But it's not about you liking what I'm saying. It's about the results. So however you feel about it, or you don't care. Because my number one concern is, what are the results? There's so many things that I have to do that I don't like to do, but I want the results. So I do it. Simple as that. So whether you like it or not, it's a feeling. Feelings come and go. You might hate it today, but you love it tomorrow. So subscribe to the channel to continue to get this information that it will add benefit to your life, however you feel about it. All right. So until next time, friends, this is Tech Coach Ralph signing off.
If you enjoyed the fascinating information shared in this video and you want more, be sure to hit the subscribe button to Tech Coach Ralph to be notified for new videos.
Enigmatic Joker.